By the way, you're an amazing. I love the fact that you're so organized as a lawyer. Sean, here are all the laws in this case. Sean, here, you're a great partner to have on the show. We appreciate it. Laws potentially broken in the Uranium One deal. Let's put them up on the screen so our audience can understand it. Explain. Let's start there because we sold out national security.
This is huge. The first 6 statutes on the screen are the anti-corruption pay-to-play statutes. You cannot use your public office, Secretary of State, to confer a benefit to a foreign government in exchange for money. The evidence appears to be there. And because she used her charity, allegedly, that would be racketeering, which, you know, the government goes after organized crime and the mafia for that.
Okay. Now, so all of these statutes, these are real crimes. I keep saying we can't have a two-tier justice system. We can't have one justice system for the Clintons that mishandled, destroyed, classified, top secret, special access program information, all of these issues involving the kickbacks, the paybacks, the pay-to-play. So the question is, how did they get away with it, and do you think they slide this time?
The Clintons are escape artists that would make Houdini proud. Whenever they are caught dangling their feet over the edge of illegality, they usually dummy up. Hillary Clinton, I'll give you an example, interviewed by the FBI, said 39 times, "I cannot recall." It was so short because she could only recall her name and date of birth. You know, she pretends like she's dumber than a bucket of hair when it serves her purpose and the brightest person in the room when it helps her.
Let's go to the dossier crimes and the scandal according to them. We'll put them up on the screen here. This dossier is getting to be a bigger, because they paid $9 million.
Right. You can't pay millions of dollars to foreign nationals because that's against the federal election laws you can see there. And you can't hide it by filing false or misleading reports. Now, I've been hearing Democrats say, oh, those are just civil penalties. They are not. The government produces a book. It's 319 pages outlining the federal election laws and all those who have been criminally prosecuted and ended up in prison.
And quickly, the laws potentially broken in the email scandal, which now, thankfully, is finally this week they're back to this.
The Espionage Act, 2 counts which were tortured and twisted by James Comey. And then the other 2 is removing classified materials from a government building. The final one there, destroying 33,000 documents.
That's called obstruction.
Yeah.
They were subpoenaed documents.
Right.
Yeah.
By Congress.
All right, Jay, let me go back to you. When you look at Uranium One, you look at the Russian dossier, here's my question and where my mind goes on this. So the dossier, they have the former MI6 guy. He's Fusion GPS. He's paying Russians for phony information. And then I've got to wonder, was that the information? Because Sarah Carter and John Solomon reported that there were FISA warrants, another warrant. I'm wondering, wow, could they have used phony Russia propaganda to get... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. If in fact the dossier was the basis upon which a FISA warrant was issued, you're talking about a whole host of legal issues that Greg will have to do another chart, because you're talking about going to a court, which is a FISA court is a court, and getting a warrant to basically eavesdrop, tap, listen in on conversations based on a document that was not only unverified, as James Comey said, by the way, and salacious and unverified, his own words, but ask this question. Why was the FBI considering paying for it at some point in this process? So that question has to be asked. And I go back to this whole concept, which is something we've been talking about for a long time, and that is, if this dossier was a political creature, which we now know it is, no question about it. It was they call it opposition research. But if Christopher Steele was utilizing Russian assets to get this information, and then, of course, it's been, as James Comey said, unverified, and they went to court to get FISA warrants, you're raising a whole host of civil liberty issues, and who knows what they did and what they said to that court.
Inadmissible in a court of law.
Well, I'd file motions to suppress the subpoenas that have been issued and the documents that were resulted as that. I would file those motions.
I can name names tonight of people that are happy. Real quick.
The FBI has become this all-powerful, renegade, deep state agency. They covered up the dossier information. They covered up the Uranium One information. Now
that includes Mueller? And that includes Rosenstein? And that includes Comey?
Right. And Andrew Weissman. All 4 are on this Trump Russia investigation, and they are so compromised here that they need to start answering questions before Congress.